In my opinion, I don't want to use the word running because I'm not trying to disrespect LeBron, but I will say this. There have been many, many occasions where I would have liked to have seen him accepting the tougher defensive assignment, and that is not something that he has been prone to do. If anybody would know whether or not that statement is true, it would be you, GP. Your thoughts?
Well, it is true. I think it's a different little era with them, too. Michael Jordan always took it to a point that he wanted to guard the best player, even with myself.
Constant push to place him above Michael Jordan does not sit right with him. This was not about hate. This was about standards. Payton made it clear that in his era, greatness was defined by responsibility, especially on the biggest stage and against the best competition. And for him, one of the biggest differences between Michael Jordan and LeBron James comes down to mentality on both ends of the floor. Payton pointed out something that many fans notice, but few talk about openly. There have been many moments in LeBron's career where people expected him to take on the toughest defensive assignment, and he didn't. Payton contrasted that with Michael Jordan, who actively wanted to guard the best player, especially in big moments. For Payton, that mindset matters. Defense was not optional in his era, it was part of your legacy. If you were the best player, you were expected to prove it on both ends of the court. This is where the conversation shifted from stats to identity. Payton wasn't impressed by numbers alone. He acknowledged LeBron's longevity, his all-around game, and his production, but he questioned the context. He talked about how the game has changed. The pace is faster, scoring is easier, the rules favor offense, hand-checking is gone.
Extension, right? And it's just also tiring right now.
I also think another part of it, and I'm curious what you think about this. I think the GOAT discussion and the favorite player discussion became intertwined in a way that was problematic, right?
Yeah.
And so what I mean by that is when somebody says that's my GOAT, it is not simply that you think that they are the greatest player, is that they are also your favorite player. And I don't always know, is it your favorite player because he's the...
It was over. When challenged with the argument that LeBron faced tougher teams like the Kevin Durant Warriors, Payton did not back down. Instead, he flipped the question. He asked people to look at who Jordan had to go through year after year. The bad boy Pistons, the Knicks, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. These were battles every round, not just in the finals. Payton's argument was that Jordan did not avoid competition. He went through it head-on without joining forces with rifles. This is where the super team conversation came into play. Payton comes from a generation where teaming up with rivals was not respected. You were supposed to beat the best, not join them. And fair or not, LeBron has become the face of the super team era. Miami, Cleveland's rebuild around him, Los Angeles. Payton did not accuse LeBron of cheating the game, but he clearly does not value that path to winning the same way he values Jordan's path. The reaction was immediate and intense. Clips of Payton's comments spread everywhere within minutes. Fans were divided instantly. LeBron supporters called Payton bitter, outdated, and jealous. Others applauded him for finally saying what they believe many former players think but refuse to say publicly. The comment sections turned into war zones. It was not just a basketball debate anymore. It was personal. Other former players weighed in, some carefully, some more boldly. Many agreed with the idea that the game has changed and that standards for greatness have shifted. Others defended LeBron, pointing out his finals appearances, his durability, and the different challenges of his era.
You could say that, and my retort to that would be 6 NBA Finals losses.
So they only. Hold on.
There's 6 final losses.
Yeah.
6 finals losses.
Let me ask you a question.
6.
I just want you to tell me one thing, and we're going to debate this.
Sure.
Tell me the team that he faced that was the 2017 or the 2018 Golden State Warriors.
What do you mean? I don't understand your question.
Michael Jordan, tell me the team.
You talking about Michael Jordan?
I want you to tell me the team that Michael Jordan faced that was the equivalent of the 17 and 18.
But once the words were out, there was no putting them back. To understand why Payton spoke the way he did, you have to understand who he is. Gary Payton built his career on toughness, defense, and pride. He guarded the best guards in the world and talked trash while doing it. He did not rely on hype or media love. His legacy is built on battles. So when he sees greatness defined mainly by offense, longevity, and numbers, it clashes with everything he believes basketball is supposed to be about. For Payton, the GOAT debate is not emotional. It's about responsibility. Who showed up every time? Who dominated when it mattered most? Who imposed their will without excuses? In his mind, Jordan set a standard that has not been matched. That doesn't mean LeBron isn't great. Payton even said LeBron is top 5 all time. But for him, there is a clear gap between greatness and the greatest. The deeper truth is that this debate is not just about players, it's about eras. Fans defend the players that define their love for the game. Older fans see Jordan as the standard and feel that elevating LeBron above him erases what they witnessed. Younger fans see LeBron as the most complete player they've ever seen and feel disrespected when legends dismiss that. Both sides feel attacked, which is why this debate never ends. The reality is that Michael Jordan and LeBron James represent different versions of greatness. Jordan represents dominance, finality, and ruthless winning. LeBron represents longevity, adaptability, and sustained excellence across teams and eras. The problem is that modern debates demand one answer, one crown, one GOAT. And when someone like Gary Payton draws a hard line, it forces everyone to choose a side. Gary Payton did not destroy LeBron's legacy, but he did remind people that legacy is not built on numbers alone. It's built on moments, mentality, and how you handle the toughest situations. Whether you agree with him or not, his comments struck a nerve because they challenged comfort. They challenged the idea that greatness can be redefined to fit modern narratives. This conversation is not ending anytime soon. As long as LeBron keeps playing, and as long as Jordan's legacy remains untouched in the mind.
Gary Payton did not just share an opinion, he challenged an entire narrative that has been pushed for years. When the GOAT conversation came up on live television, Payton did what very few people in basketball media are willing to do anymore. He said what he truly believed, without softening it, without trying to please anyone, and without protecting feelings. And the moment he did that, the LeBron James GOAT debate exploded all over again. Payton's main point was simple, but powerful. He said that while he respects LeBron James and everything he has accomplished, the constant push to place him above Michael Jordan does not sit right with him. This was not about hate, this was about standards. Payton made it clear that in his era, greatness was defined by responsibility, especially on the biggest stage and against the best competition. And for him, one of the biggest differences between Michael Jordan and LeBron James comes down to mentality on both ends of the floor. Payton pointed out something that many fans notice but few talk about openly. There have been many moments in LeBron's career where people expected him to take on the toughest defensive assignment, and he didn't. Payton contrasted that with Michael Jordan, who actively wanted to guard the best player, especially in big moments. For Payton, that mindset matters. Defense was not optional in his era, it was part of your legacy. If you were the best player, you were expected to prove it on both ends of the court. This is where the conversation shifted from stats to identity. Payton wasn't impressed by numbers alone. He acknowledged LeBron's longevity, his all-around game, and his production, but he questioned the context. He talked about how the game has changed. The pace is...
LeBron James, the greatest NBA player of all time. Y'all gotta sit back and relax for this one. Just to be clear, I think that's a feelings. I don't think it's a fact. This has been a topic of conversation that has dominated so many talking heads, TV segments, talk radio segments. It's dominated so much of the conversation around the NBA and specifically around LeBron and his career.
View, making it to the finals and losing is not equal to winning. Jordan never let the series go to a seventh game. He never gave the other team hope. Once he reached the finals, it was over. When challenged with the argument that LeBron faced tougher teams like the Kevin Durant Warriors, Payton did not back down. Instead, he flipped the question. He asked people to look at who Jordan had to go through year after year. The bad boy Pistons, the Knicks, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. These were battles every round, not just in the finals. Payton's argument was that Jordan did not avoid competition. He went through it head-on without joining forces with rivals. This is where the super team conversation came into play. Payton comes from a generation where teaming up with rivals was not respected. You were supposed to beat the best, not join them. And fair or not, LeBron has become the face of the super team era. Miami, Cleveland's rebuild around him, Los Angeles. Payton did not accuse LeBron of cheating the game, but he clearly does not value that path to winning the same way he values Jordan's path. The reaction was immediate and intense. Clips of...
When Payton talks about defense, it is not just about effort, it is about pride. Jordan took it personally when someone scored on him. He wanted to shut people down and then embarrass them on the other end. That mindset is rare. Payton is not saying LeBron cannot defend. He is saying LeBron often chooses not to take that role, especially late in games. And for someone like Payton, that choice matters when you're talking about the greatest ever. Another layer of this debate is leadership. Payton believes leadership is shown by example, not by control. Jordan led by demanding more from everyone, including himself. He pushed teammates hard, sometimes too hard, but no one questioned his commitment.
Payton sees LeBron's leadership as different, more calculated, more political, more aware of image. Again, this is not saying one way is wrong, it is saying they are not the same. This is why Payton rejected the idea that eras should be blended without context. In the 90s, stars did not manage minutes. They did not rest games for long-term health. If you played, you played. If you were hurt, you were really hurt. And if you lost, you wore that loss all summer. Payton believes that pressure forged something different, something harder, and that environment shaped Jordan into who he became. LeBron's defenders often respond by saying he has faced more scrutiny, more media pressure, and more expectations from a young age. That part is true. LeBron was labeled the chosen one before he played a single NBA game. That weight is real. But Payton's response to that would likely be simple. Pressure does not lower the standard, it raises it. Another reason Payton's comments cause such a reaction is because many fans secretly agree but are afraid to say it. In today's basketball culture, criticizing LeBron often gets labeled as hate. Any discussion that does not praise him fully is seen as disrespect. Payton broke that wall. He praised LeBron, acknowledged his greatness, and still said he is not Jordan. That balance is something the internet struggles with. The media also plays a big role in why this debate feels so toxic. The GOAT conversation drives clicks, views, and engagement. Every time a legend speaks, the sound bites get chopped up and pushed everywhere. Context gets lost. What Payton said becomes Payton hates LeBron instead of Payton has different standards for greatness. That distortion fuels anger on both sides. What gets overlooked is that Payton is defending something bigger than Jordan. He is defending his era. He is defending a version of basketball where winning meant everything and excuses meant nothing. When he hears people say LeBron lost finals because his team was weaker, Payton hears excuses that were not accepted in his time. Jordan lost early in his career too, but once he broke through, there were no more explanations, just wins. This does not mean LeBron's path is easy or fake. It means it is different, and difference matters when ranking history. Payton is not rewriting LeBron's career. He is drawing a line and saying, this is what I value most. Rings without losses, defensive responsibility, dominance without movement, fear without debate. As the discussion kept growing, fans began pulling up old clips. Jordan guarding Magic, Jordan guarding Clyde Drexler, Jordan guarding Reggie Miller. These clips went viral again, not because people forgot them, but because they supported Payton's point visually. Meanwhile, LeBron highlights focused on offense, chase down blocks, and passing, two different legacies shown in two different ways. Another important thing Payton indirectly challenged was the idea that longevity alone equals greatness. Playing a long time is impressive, staying healthy is impressive, breaking records is impressive, but Payton believes peaks matter more than length. Jordan's peak was shorter, but it was absolute, no debate, no rival won during it. LeBron's peak is longer, but it includes losses at the highest level. Payton is saying that matters. At the end of the day, Payton did not expect everyone to agree with him. He knew the backlash would come, but he also knew that silence would feel worse than criticism. For someone built like Gary Payton, staying quiet while standards change is not an option. He would rather be hated for honesty than praised for silence. This is why his comments will not fade away. They touch something deeper than stats or rings. They touched identity, pride, and memory. For many fans, Jordan represents certainty. For many others, LeBron represents evolution. Gary Payton chose certainty. And as long as basketball fans care about history, toughness, and what greatness really means, this conversation will never truly die. What truly keeps this debate alive is that neither side is completely wrong. Gary Payton is speaking from experience, not theory. He saw Michael Jordan next level. He felt that pressure firsthand. When Payton says Jordan is on a different level, it's not nostalgia talking, it's memory. You can't convince someone who lived through that dominance that it was ordinary or comparable. To them, Jordan was inevitable. At the same time, LeBron's career exists in a world Jordan never had to navigate. Social media dissects every play, every loss becomes a meme, every finals defeat gets replayed endlessly. LeBron has played his entire career under a microscope that never shuts off. Some argue that surviving and thriving in that environment should count for more. Payton hears that argument, but it doesn't move him. In his mind, greatness is not about survival, it's about conquest. Another uncomfortable truth is that LeBron has become the symbol of modern basketball, and modern basketball is not universally loved. The spacing, the pace, the reliance on three-pointers, the constant movement of stars, it feels less personal to older fans. Jordan's Bulls felt like a dynasty you could touch. Same jerseys, same core, same villain every year. LeBron's story is more complex, more strategic, more business-oriented. For Payton, that complexity weakens the mythology. There is also the question of fear. Opponents fear Jordan in a way that feels different from how they respect LeBron. Players respect LeBron's greatness, his intelligence, his passing, but Jordan inspired dread. When he got hot, teams knew the game was over. Payton has said before that Jordan could break your spirit. That psychological edge is hard to measure, but it lives in the memories of those who faced him. This is why Payton's words sting so much. They are not coming from a talking head or a hot take artist. They are coming from a Hall of Famer who built his career on stopping greatness. When someone like that tells you Jordan is still the standard, it forces people to confront the possibility that greatness is not evolving. It might already have peaked. LeBron supporters often respond by pointing out Jordan's first-round exits, his early struggles, and the fact that he played fewer seasons. Payton doesn't deny those facts. He simply views them as part of a journey that ended in perfection. Once Jordan figured it out, the league belonged to him. No rival stole his crown. No dynasty overlapped his reign. That clean dominance is rare in sports history, not just basketball.
This mindset feels harsh to modern fans, but it explains why Payton's generation views things the way they do. They grew up believing that history remembers winners, not context. That belief shaped how they played and how they judge the game now. When Payton speaks, he is not just ranking players, he is defending a philosophy. The irony is that LeBron may never escape this shadow, no matter how much he achieves. Even if he wins another ring, even if he plays into his mid-40s, even if he owns every major statistical record. For some people, especially those like Gary Payton, the argument was settled decades ago. Jordan set the bar, and no one has cleared it cleanly enough to move it. And that may be the most uncomfortable part of all. The GOAT debate is not just about who is better, it is about whether standards should change with time. Gary Payton is saying no. He is saying greatness should be timeless, ruthless, and unquestioned. LeBron's career is historic, but in Payton's eyes, it lives just below that line. That does not diminish LeBron, it just places him in a different category, an all-time great in an era of many, rather than a singular force who defined the league. Whether fans accept that or not depends on what they value more, dominance or durability, peaks or longevity, fear or flexibility. And until basketball fans agree on what greatness truly means, voices like Gary Payton's will continue to cut through the noise, reminding everyone that some legends are not measured, they are felt.